because that's Orion's bow, and that's Orion's belt right there. You think that's a big belt? You should see the belt holding my Aunt Martha's tunic together. Between you and me, hers can afford to be just a little bit longer. There are some things you cannot unsee. Oh, up there, that's the Big Dipper. Or is it the Little Dipper? Man, can never keep the two of them straight. You know what? Why's there got to be a Big Dipper and a Little Dipper anyway? Can't one of them just be called Dipper and be done with it? You know what? From now on, I'm going to call you Dipper. Yeah. Oh, did you see that? That's a shooting star right there. No, there's another one. Man, I could look at these stars all night for the rest of my life and never get sick of it. See, there's so many of them. You ever try to count them? No, you can't do it. No, you can't. Believe me. Jeremiah over here, he's tried plenty of times. He keeps losing count at 22, though, because that's when he runs out of fingers and toes. You heard me right. Look at them all. See, it's nights like tonight that I get what that David was talking about. You guys know David, right? He was that little boy who killed a giant with a slingshot. You know who I'm talking about. He was a shepherd just like me when he was a boy. Yeah, we're pretty much the same person. Except, of course, he grew up to be a king, and I grew up to be a shepherd. So you might not know this, but that David, he was a bit of a poet. He was, yeah. He wrote a whole bunch of poems and songs, and there's a whole book in that there Bible of yours of Psalms, right? And he's got a bunch of them in there, and there's one of them. It's Psalm 8. It's one of my favorites, and I like it so much, I actually committed a piece of it to memory. I think he was out on a night just like tonight, looking up at them stars. He starts talking to God, and he says, Lord, when I consider your heavens, the moon and the stars, which you set into place, what is mankind that you're mindful of them? What are human beings that you even care about them? Oh, man, I get what that David was saying. I do. I don't think you're getting the picture, though. Hey, boys, you think you might be able to help me out with this one?
Yeah, I reckon. Want to play a little ditty?
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You guys feeling it? All right. I see the stars piercing through the night, like tiny pinholes poking through that blue black sky. Even darkness can't deny their right to shine, cause it's part of his grand design. I see the moon predictably too. It's never late, it never comes too soon. Each new day it's perfectly in human time, cause it's part of his grand design. And I know it's crazy to think this God would save you. Why in the world would he care what we do? The whole universe fits in the palm of his hand, and our puny lives ain't a grain of sand. I know that it's true, but I can't understand why he sees me too. And I see it's right in the tree, but where it comes from is still a mystery. And I can feel it, but there's nothing there to see behind. It's just part of his grand design. And I know it's crazy to think this God would save you. Why in the world would he care what we do? The whole universe fits in the palm of his hand, and our puny lives ain't a grain of sand. I know that it's true, but I can't understand. He's up there sprinkling stars, and he's shaping the moon.
He's fanning the wind and he's fueling the sun.
He's showering sees me too. I know it's crazy to think this God would save you. Why in the world would he care what we do? The whole universe fits in the palm of his hand. Our puny lives ain't a grain of sand. I know that it's true, but I can't understand why he sees me too. Well, boys, I'm gonna go take my watch. You guys have your fun, all right? I got stuck with night watch again. I don't mind too much. I kind of like being out here under the stars all night. I could use some company though. You guys want to join me? Oh, that'd be great. Doing this night watch thing all by your lonesome is harder than you might think. You look kind of nervous. You ain't scared, are you? Nah, don't worry about no wolves. I got a staff right here. I even got a slingshot like that David. Anything comes looking for trouble, I will teach them a lesson. Don't you worry, I done it plenty of times. Where do you think I got this fancy vest from? Yeah, no. Hey, you want to see something funny? Hey, Jeremiah, it looks like the fire's getting a little low over there. Mm-hmm. Oh. I want to send to the fire.
Hey! Dag nabbit, Earl. Every time. Every time.
He's such a sucker. Nah, the predators ain't what make this job hard. Nah, see, every hour we got to go out and we got to make sure none of the sheep have wandered off or got eaten by wolves or nothing. And of course, the only way to make sure they're all here is to count them up. But you have any idea how hard it is to stay awake at 3 o'clock in the morning when you are literally counting sheep? Man, you'll pass out faster than Aunt Martha after the Passover meal, I tell you. All that's to say, I appreciate you keeping me company. I just hope you guys ain't embarrassed to be slumming it with some shepherds, right? Hey, don't you believe everything they say about us. It ain't true. At least not all of it. You know, it is true. Maybe we do put off an unusual aroma. See, that right there, that's the smell of manhood. Yeah. Drink it in, ladies. Yeah, we smell a little weird. I get that. And it's true, maybe, perhaps my best friend is a sheep. But that little critter, he gets me. Oh, yeah, he gets me right here. So don't you judge me for that. No. See, as you'd expect, people, they think we're kind of strange. Living out here in the hills all year round in all sorts of weather, just wandering from place to place, never really going anywhere. No roots, no real home to speak of or nothing. Just sheep. All day, all night, nothing but sheep. And you know what? I love it. Man, if you go down in the city, you know that there are more people there than sheep. I don't know how y'all stand it. All right, sheep might not be the brightest, but they're a whole heck of a lot easier to deal with than people. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we are strange, but I kind of like it. Being out here, wide open spaces, nobody telling you where to go or what to do or who to be, just the sheep, right? And if the sheep start telling you what to do, you got bigger problems there. Yeah. I reckon you guys don't know too much about sheep, do you? Yeah, look at them. They ain't exactly noble creatures. Hey, stop licking his butt. That's disgusting. I'm talking to you. No, don't you look at me. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. do not make me call the old lady out here and tell her we're having lamb chops for dinner. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, sheep. Sheep, they ain't exactly impressive creatures, and they can't do much for you either. You know, not like a horse or a mule. You can't ride them. They can't pull anything. They just kind of stand around. I mean, yes, their wool can be pretty warm in a cold night, and yes, they can be pretty tasty if they don't stop misbehaving. But they're kind of boring to just watch. I get that. I get that. You probably think sheep are stupid, don't you? That's what everybody says, right? Ain't nothing dumber than a sheep. Yeah, but it ain't true. I'm telling you, it's not. No, sheep, they're pretty clever. In fact, did you know that a sheep, he can recognize your face? Even if he hasn't seen you for a couple of years, if you come wandering up, he'll know exactly who you are. Yeah, you don't believe me? Man, I wish somebody would just invent some sort of device or something where you can just like look stuff up and fact check things and be able to do it right wherever you are. Wouldn't that be cool? If that thing existed, I would say go look it up and you'd find out it's true. But I know it's crazy. That's just the ramblings of a bing bong bonkers wiki wacky old shepherd. It's just a bunch of googly guck. And hey, I'm no Yahoo, all right? I understand. I'm just dreaming here. But it'd be cool. Yeah. See, the reason everybody thinks sheep are so dumb is sheep, they stay together as a herd. Even when it might not seem like the best idea, they always stay together as a herd. But it's not dumb, because that's their only form of defense. They don't got sharp teeth or claws or nothing. So for them, they know if there's a threat, their best chance of survival is to band together as a herd. I like that about sheep. I really do. See, people, when we get threatened, what do? We start turning on each other and fighting and arguing and blaming each other and calling each other names and whatnot. But sheep, they get threatened. What do? They band together as a herd. Which one would you prefer? Yeah, sheep, they ain't so bad. But they sure do smell, don't they? I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I actually forget because I'm just so used to it. But I hope you guys are managing all right with the smell. You guys holding up okay? All right. See, the thing about sheep, they just need a shepherd. As long as they got somebody who's guiding them and caring for them and keeping them out of trouble, these critters can be downright lovable. They can. I know it sounds strange, but I really do care for my sheep. I even named them. I did. Yeah. See that lamb right there? That lamb is Stu. That's short for Stewart. No, not lamb stew. You have a twisted mind. You're just cruel. But that sheep over there, that's roasted, and that's chops, and that's shish kebab. But he really prefers to be called Shishka Robert. It's kind of high maintenance. And that one over there, that's mint jelly. And you see that guy over there with 3 legs? That's Lego lamb. I'm telling you, I got names for all of them. I do. And I care about each one of them. But it sure is good they got a shepherd. Man, not to make too much of myself, but these little critters, they wouldn't last long out here without a shepherd. It's true. But I kind of get a little jealous of them. I know it's weird, but I love that they have a shepherd. Sometimes I wish I had a shepherd watching over me, right? Making sure that I was being guided to safe pastures and protected in those times of trouble and times of need. Man, I remember my first night doing night watch. I just turned 13 years old, which meant I was a man, a bona fide, certified man. But I was a scared little man, I was. I was out here. It was a night. Not much unlike tonight. Bit of a chill in the air. Stars as far as the eye could see. out here watching the sheep, and all of a sudden, I hear noise over by the sheep. And so I get up, and I'm going to go look for it. I was scared as anything, but I wanted to be brave, and so I started walking over, but I am shaking in my boots the whole time, tiptoeing my way over to where I heard the noise, all stealthy like. When all of a sudden, I hear snap. Behind me, a branch breaks, and I turn around, and I see a wolf. It's the biggest wolf I ever done seen, and his teeth are showing, and he's growling at me, and I start backpedaling. I fall to the ground, and now I am just helpless and defenseless, and that wolf is about to pounce, and I know I am done for. I have no hope, and just as he's about to pounce, all of a sudden, my daddy swoops in, and he clubs that wolf so hard. I counted 5 full seconds before that puppy hit the ground again. See, I didn't realize it, but my daddy, he never stopped watching me that night. He was there the whole time in the shadows. I didn't see him, but he saw me. And as soon as I found myself in trouble, he swooped in to rescue me. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean when I say I want a shepherd. I want somebody like that watching over me when I'm in those hard times, those scary times. Man, it would have been nice having a shepherd watching over me back in 08 BC, you know, when the famine struck and everybody was hurting. Everybody's wallets got just a little bit tighter during that time. Our sheep were just keeling over and dying on account of the fact that there just weren't any grass for them to eat. And the few scrawny sheep that survived, nobody was able to buy because they were just as broke as me. And man, I was just recently married at this time, and I didn't know how I was supposed to provide for my wife. It was scary. And it was a little embarrassing. Man, it would have been a nice thing to have a shepherd watching over me then. And it would have been nice having a shepherd watching over my little girl. When well, you get the picture. You get it. It'd just be nice during those difficult times to have somebody who's watching over you, who's got your back, right? Yeah. See, when I was a little boy, I was actually taught I had a shepherd just like this. I was. You know that David, he wrote another psalm. It's a real famous one. You might have even heard it. It's the 23rd Psalm. And in there he says, the Lord is my shepherd. That's what I'm talking about, right? The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He refreshes my soul. Yeah, that's what I want. And I tell you, when I was a boy, I believed that. I did. With all my heart, with all my soul, I believed that. Until one day, I didn't anymore. About 10 years ago, my wife, she got pregnant. This was going to be our first child. Oh, man. Just between you and me, I was really rooting for a son. And a little boy raised up, be a shepherd just like me. Yeah. But I tell you what, when I laid eyes on my baby girl for the very first time, I fell head over heels in love with her. Man, I started dreaming all the things that we were going to do together and the places we were going to go and the memories we were going to make, me and my baby girl. Yeah. But a couple months later, my baby girl, she got sick. And at first, we didn't think too much of it. Babies, they get sick, right? It happens. But after a couple days, we realized that this is more serious than we thought. And so we started to gather our friends and our family together, right? gather them all together to pray over my baby girl, because we thought maybe if we prayed, maybe our shepherd would come and he would save my baby girl, right? And he'd do something to protect her. And we were feeling pretty optimistic. We still thought there sure ain't nothing's gonna happen. It's gonna be okay. But then she took a turn for the worse. And those prayers, they started to turn into just all out cries. Because I just got on my knees before God and I started begging him, do not take my baby girl from me. You can't do this. You're supposed to be my shepherd. You're supposed to be the one watching over me. You're supposed to be her shepherd. Where are you? Just don't take my baby girl from me. Please, don't take my baby girl from me. Before we knew it, my wife and I, we were saying goodbye to my baby girl. And our hearts were broken. But I did not lose my faith. I didn't. I was determined. I was going to be strong for my wife. I was going to support her, and I was going to care for her, and I was going to comfort her during this time, because I was certain God had not abandoned me. I was sure of it. I knew it seemed crazy, but I was certain he was there with me. I believed it. I did. And so what I decided to do is I was going to go down to the temple. I was going there anyway, right? Because this is a big part of what we do as shepherds. We have to bring our sheep down to the city, and we sell them outside of the temple. People buy them, and then they use them as their offerings. So I got down plenty of times, but I always stayed out in the street. But not this time. This time I was going to go in. I even had a baby lamb that I was going to offer up as my sacrifice to my God. And I was going to meet with him, and he was going to let me know that he was still cared about me, that he was still my shepherd, that he didn't abandon me. And so, despite everything that was going on, I go down to the temple, and I was actually a little excited. See, you got to understand something. For us, the temple is the house of the Lord, right? I get it. God is everywhere. He is, but he's like really, really in the temple. Yeah, and so I was going to go down to the temple, and I was going to meet my shepherd. And I was going to hear from him. I was going to hear that he loved me and he cared for me. And so even though our hearts were broken, I was actually excited. I grabbed my best tunic, which of course is my only tunic, but man, I cleaned that thing real good. I got the smell of sheep turds out of it and everything. I did, believe you me. And I pulled myself together, and I head down to the temple full of excitement. But I guess I was also just a little bit naive. There's a temple in the city, columns tall and looking pretty. I bring a lamb as an offering for my God, my mighty King. City's so busy, all the movement makes me dizzy. Everybody's dressed their best, I look like a mess. The temple in the city, a priest looks down on me with pity. He takes my lamb but turns me away. I'm not welcome in that place. Does he know me? Can you see beyond my shepherd shell? Can you get beyond my filth and smell? Does he know me? Can he say that we are just the same? Both men who will deal with guilt and shame. At the temple there's a place behind a veil, amazing grace. Can I be known by the King above? Does he bring peace? Can he bring love? At the temple I've come to pray, but I've been put out and turned away. If God calls me his own, why do I feel so all alone? Does he know me? Can he save me on my shepherd shell? Can he get beyond my filth and smell? Does he know me? I need someone who relates to me. Can he try to show some sympathy? Is there a God who knows me? Knows my face, knows my name. Can he see behind my guilt and my shame? Is there a God who sees me? I want a shepherd of my own, someone to know that I'm not alone. Is there a God who hears me? Who hears my prayers, my thoughts, my cries? Does he hear me as my faith slowly dies? Is there a God who loves me? Who is my joy, my peace, my guiding light? Who will love me through my darkest night? Can he see beyond my shepherd shell? Can he get beyond my filth and smell? Does he know me? I need to hear from him, not the dream. I really need the king to set me free. I leave the temple, my heart is torn. I'm an outcast, I've been scorned. Lonely, lonely shepherd man. How can God even understand? That day, I realized that he might be somebody else's God, but he's not my God. No, he's not my God. After that, I was done. I was done with him. I was done with those self-righteous religious folks. I was done with religion altogether. I mean, who was I fooling anyway, right? God's got bigger sheep to herd than me. And you know what? Good riddance. Good riddance. Who needs you anyway? Between you and me, I found all that stuff so boring. Right? All them prayers and junk. Yes, it's true. I really did want somebody watching over me when I was hurting and stuff. But I did not want him watching over me all them other times, right? Make me feel guilty or ashamed for all the things I wanted to do. Nah, I didn't want any of that. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about, though. Yeah, you do. No, it's all right. Don't be shy, man. Hey, what happens in hill country stays in hill country. And there ain't no God who's watching over us out here. At That's what I kept trying to tell myself. And I tried so hard to believe it too, but those feelings of guilt, they just kept creeping right back in. They did. I mean, it wasn't too much for a little bit of old Jacob's moonshine to wash away. You know what I'm talking about, right? You guys want some? Oh, actually, on second thought, I don't think that's such a good idea. Last time I gave a city slicker like yourself a taste of old Jacob's moonshine, that poor fella ended up getting in a 4-hour political debate with Herb. I know that doesn't sound so bad, but Herb's a sheep. To make it even worse, Herb wasn't even alive. Yeah, earlier that day we Herb for dinner, so this guy was basically arguing with a sweater, and I think the sweater was winning. All that's to say, no moonshine for you. But yeah, I thought I was all but done with God. Ain't nothing gonna change my mind. Of course, until that event a few weeks ago. You know what I'm talking about, right? You guys haven't heard? Man, I thought everybody would have heard by now. All right, so I'm out one night doing the usual night watch thing, and all of a sudden, over that hill over yonder, I start seeing a light. A glowing sort of thing, but it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter to the point where it actually looks like the sun is about to rise over the hill. But last I checked, the sun don't rise in the middle of the night. But then I noticed my sheep. And my sheep are all lined up, but they're staring at the light as if they know what's going on. But as they're lining up, they're all like neat and orderly, like they're soldiers in an army or something. Now, I've been a shepherd my whole life. Sheep don't do that. This was freaky. At first I thought maybe I just had a little too much of old Jacob's moonshine, know what I mean? But then I remembered we actually finished old Jacob's moonshine the night before, and he didn't have another batch ready yet. I was sober, and this was happening, and it was freaky. And then there was silence. Not quiet. No. Quiet, that's normal in the middle of the night. This was something altogether different. This was absolute silence. As if somebody had just sucked all the sound right out of the air for like a good 10 seconds. And all I could hear was my own breathing and my heart beating. And then the softest sound, music.
Shining, it is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining till he appeared. Soul felt its worth, a thrill of hope. The weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Oh,
after that, the angels, they told us the baby's name and that we'd find him down in Bethlehem. And that was it. Would have been nice if they gave us an address or something. But we were determined to find that little boy, so we immediately set out. Well, sorry, not immediately. We had to wait for Jeremiah to change his pants because the angel scared the you-know-what out of him. And he didn't really want to meet the Savior of the world with a soggy bottom. So after Jeremiah put on a clean pair of pants, we immediately went down to Bethlehem. And it was a little strange because even though it was the middle of the night, the town was bustling. This was a few weeks ago when that census was going on. So people were here from all over the place looking for places to sleep and food to eat. There were even people just sleeping right in the middle of the street, right? But we started asking everybody if they knew where to find a boy, and nobody knew anything. They hadn't heard a thing. We thought that was crazy. We thought everybody would have known. But we kept searching. And eventually we found a stable on the edge of town. It was really more like a cave kind of carved out the side of a hill, but there was some straw on the floor and a few animals tucked back in the shadows. Sure enough, there was a young woman and her husband and a brand new baby boy. The parents, they were real clever. Like they actually made a little baby's crib out of the feeding trough. It worked real good. So the baby was just kind of sleeping there on the hay, and he seemed real cozy. I don't think the mules cared too much for it, but the baby seemed fine. At first, I was a little unsure. Could this really be the place? The long-awaited Messiah born in a stable? That just doesn't make sense. Right? Shouldn't he have been born in a palace or something? And shouldn't more important people be there, like Herod? Or what about the high priest? Where was he? Shouldn't he be there? Or what about Caesar? Caesar should be there, right? And what on earth am I doing there? What? It was wild. But the dad, he invited us in after we told him our story. And it was strange because they even believed the bit about the angels in our story. We thought for sure they'd be shocked by that, but no, they acted like it was normal that angels pop up and start talking to you or something. But they believed us. And the dad, he invited us in and he told us the baby's name, Jesus. In that moment, we knew this was the place and this was the boy. I'm not a particularly educated fella, so I didn't know this, but the daddy, he was telling me that name Jesus, it means God saves. God saves. That's kind of neat, right? God saves. The mom, she asked if I wanted to hold the baby, and I didn't know what to say, so I'm like, sure, why not? And so I put my staff down, and I come over and take the baby boy into my arms, and as soon as I looked down at his little face, I just lost it. Immediately, I had to hand the baby back to the mom. I just ran out of the cave because it was just too much for me. This was God, and he was a baby. God was a baby just lying in my arms. Like if I dropped him, I would have hurt him. I would have hurt God. I don't even understand how that makes sense. What? This is the God who created the moon and the stars, and now he's just a helpless baby? Why would he do that? See, I spent most of my adult life trying to keep God at arm's length, right? Pushing him away, and now he's lying in my arms? I thought he had abandoned me, but he chased me down. He's the one who's been pursuing me this whole time. I see, I all but gave up on God because, you know what, I found it rather inconvenient. All them rules and regulations, right? And then he steps away from heaven, come to earth, as a baby. He has to have somebody else wipe his butt for him. Talk about inconvenient. Why would he do that? And he's a baby, born in a cave, out on a cold night. These are not safe conditions for a baby. These are the kind of conditions where babies get sick, and sometimes babies die. I know. Why would he put his son in that sort of situation? And I know it's crazy talk, right? It's God's son. He's not going to let anything happen to his precious baby. He's going to protect him. I get that. But imagine that. Imagine if God sends his son all the way to earth just to be with us, and he were to die in the process. Man, that's just too much. In those moments, standing outside of the cave, began to realize I was all wrong about this God. See, all along I thought I was too dirty for him, right? Too ordinary, too nothing, whatever. But there ain't no such thing. He's God. There's nobody too dirty for him. Even me, he can clean up any mess. And he did. See, he's the same star-sprinkling, moon-shaping God, but he loves me more. And he is more kind and more caring and more generous than I ever imagined. And you know what? I ain't letting go of this God. I'm not gonna, even if my sheep decide to band together and jump off a cliff all together, I don't care. I am not letting go of this God. He's just too good. I guess what I'm feeling is joy. It took me a couple weeks to put my finger on it because I don't think I ever felt joy before. Sure, I've been happy and I've even been excited at times. But this was something different. This was unshaken. This is joy. And I, all this time, thought that God wanted something from me, but he just wanted something for me. He wanted to bring me joy. And he is dying to bring that same joy to you. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King.
He rules the world with
of His